Yo, what's going on, guys? We're gonna be jumping into another underdog puppy draft here in a second. I'm gonna get it queued up right away. Trey Lance is finally off the field, so we can go ahead and recap what happened there while we get ready to do this, and just discuss preseason. Like nothing, no major injuries this week, so that's the big news. No major injuries. Um, Notes from today: Trey Lance looked really good. I thought Jimmy Garoppolo still looks like the starter. I don't. I would assume that changes. Um, First game today was I'm blanking. Giants. I remember not being excited over any of it. Like nothing exciting happened, so I got really, really just out of it all of a sudden. Like as soon as it started. Yeah, Giants Browns when the starters played on either side. It was didn't learn anything. All right, picking from the four spot. Four spot in the puppy. I'm in an interesting spot. I've been getting like this like 3, 4, 5 range a lot, and Adams is just always available. And so I can pick Adams here whenever I want. I can pick Kamara here usually whenever I want because he usually goes McCaffrey, Cook, Henry. But it looks like ADP wise, Kamara's finally moved ahead of Henry by quite a bit. So I think if Henry goes third or Kamara goes third, I have no reason to draft Kamara third anymore. I was drafting Kamara 4 or 5 earlier this week without an issue. So I think my plan is just gonna be, sit back. We're gonna chill. I haven't gotten a 1-1 pick in a long time. So I have no CMC teams. My one Dalvin Cook team was a 103 pick. Alright, before let's get started, remember to hit like, subscribe on the YouTube video, guys. It means a lot to me. It helps with the channel. Leave a comment what you think about how this draft goes. Any information appreciated. Remember to stick around for the end of the video too. I just review every team and talk about what I would do differently, how I think their draft went, how I think my draft went, and just kind of go from there. I hate this pick now. Like I don't want Henry, I don't want Elliott, so I just reach for Adams. I have like no Kelsey teams, but I hate picking Kelsey here. I have actually 0 Derrick Henry teams. Now that he's not the third pick, I think I'll give it a shot. If I was doing just a few drafts, Derrick Henry would not be my pick here. I would have picked Devontae Adams and just moved on with my life. But since I've literally not picked Derrick Henry yet, he's not going third overall anymore. I'll take my shot on him at a 4 pick. I think I really would have preferred this guy drafting ahead of me because he did reach on Adams. I'm already regretting it because we have a guy that went Adams Hill after this, which means they're probably pretty sharp. They're gonna go wide receiver heavy. My plan with the Henry pick is to get another good running back on the way back and a receiver, hopefully. When I say good running back, I mean anybody Najee Harris and up. Edwards-Helaire has fallen out of this group. The injury concern's too high now with that sprained ankle. Sprained ankle ain't nothing to play with. He could be out for like more than people are putting on for. Very unlikely he plays next week in the final week of preseason, which is, yeah. Checking news right now, see if anything came out. Nothing. Titans are done. Vrabel has COVID. Has the illness. Yeah, I don't see like what else you would do there. I'll pull up the draft board. Nothing crazy so far. Went wide receiver, then the usual suspects. Diggs at the 10 spot. DeAndre Hopkins goes to the Aaron Jones team. I don't think I'm gonna like how this guy's team ends up. I don't see this combination of players in the first 2 rounds ever really working out for a good team. Wide receiver. Ridley fell. I love Diggs Ridley on the turn. Honestly, if I was picking 12 here, I would have gone Diggs Ridley. But he didn't screw up and split it up. I think this is a mistake. I think this is a mistake too, splitting it up like this. Well, I think when you still have a really strong running backs on the board, I think it's a mistake. These guys are both going to go receiver likely, or tight end. I could see Waller going one of these 2 guys. Let's go to my board here. So I have Mixon and Najee as guys that I would draft here. AJ Brown probably goes to one of these guys. So Kittle. If you like Kittle more than Waller, I have no problems on picking Kittle in front of Waller. They both go tight end. I'm gonna go with I usually go with Najee in this spot, so I'm gonna go with Mixon instead. We're going a little off the board today. A little off my normal strategy today. I think these 2 guys are pretty sharp. I think going tight end there is pretty sharp. It's a sharp pick there. AJ Brown's on the board, seems like the obvious pick, and then Lamb, Jefferson on the turn. Be like the 17th Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson team I've seen. This exact draft happened to me yesterday, where I think I was picking 5, and the 6 and 7 pick went full 0 RB. The problem was that I was also going 0 RB to start off with, and I switched here. Now I want to get back on the wide receiver train. Lamb and Jefferson are available right now. Hilaire. I'm not reaching for any of these. I'm going CeeDee Lamb. I get CeeDee Lamb in the 3rd round is not like midway through the 3rd round, not something that's happened in a while. So that's a nice pick for me. Are people off CeeDee Lamb? You can also go like in here. If people are off CeeDee Lamb, it's time to draft him. He just timeout. He probably had his queue set up. I mean, Allen Robinson was next, but Swift. Now I don't like this pick. I don't like this team anymore. As a reach on Swift, you like committed to 0 RB and then you just reached on Swift for no real reason. This guy's got a double Dallas stack already with Zeke and Cooper. This is probably the closest I've seen Lamb and Cooper going together in a while. They usually get pretty far apart now. Let's see what we got here. Kelsey, Gibson, Dobbins. Ooh, running backs are going early. These are both quite a bit ahead of ADP. And that's way ahead of ADP on Kyle Pitts. It's way ahead. Pitts in the 3rd round is kind of absurd. Lockett in the 3rd is kind of absurd. He's usually been going 4th rounders. He's going for the full Seahawks stack. Mahomes to the unstack. Kelsey and Hill guys are just livid right now. Cup Woods, he's going for the full Ram stack. I'm sitting pretty good all of a sudden. So I have to think about I think so. I've CD'd Lamb, so this could be a Dak team. The only other Dak person I'd worry about is this. So I'd be thinking Dak here. I'm not using the next 2 picks on Dak. There's some really good value at wide receiver right now. There will be when it gets to my pick too. Evans, Godwin go back to back. Ayuk. Yeah, there was some weird stuff that happened here. Like Pitts, Andrews are very early. These are very early tight ends. 0 RB. Does he? There's no RBs to take. Henderson, Carson, Swift, Dobbins are all gone. Goes T. Higgins. Montgomery's still available. I think my normal pick here is DJ Moore, but I'm gonna go with Julio. I'm gonna go with Julio. I've been coming around on Julio a little bit. Julio in the 3rd wasn't good. Julio in the late 4th is good. I'm a little worried about picking just Tennessee players in general, but I already made my bet with Derrick Henry on this team, so let's go with Julio Jones. We'll wrap in Tannehill at some point. Oh, the Tennessee guys fallen because of the COVID thing? Like, is that the actual reason? Like Henry going 3rd to 4th isn't really a thing. Brown usually goes middle 2nd. Julio was going like closer to the turn. The guy in the 3rd spot just went 4 straight running backs, which I'm assuming the guys that are going 0 RB right now we're not planning on. The guy in the 11th pick has 1 of each position right now too, which I think is just funny. They have 0 correlation. Thielen goes unstacked Josh Allen on the turn. The Diggs owner normally here would be pretty upset, but he's going to get Russell Wilson with the double stack. So this pick doesn't make much sense to me. This is a pretty soft lobby, to be honest, with what I'm seeing right now. Etienne, it's a little bit of a reach on Etienne when you have 2 running backs already. Deontay Johnson, it's my pick. Just like that. I still get DJ Moore. Yeah, okay. Now I can't say no. This team's turning into a powerhouse real quick, honestly. The picks here from these guys have been questionable, to say the least. This guy goes Josh Jacobs pretty much out of necessity on a 0 RB team. It doesn't feel good. That's a big reach. But really, this guy with nothing for a 2nd running back. Well, Mike Davis going very early. I'm really glad I have 2 solid running backs on my team right now. The thing here that I knew I could go with a running back here that I knew Najee Harris would get picked for sure. The worst case scenario, I was getting like Allen Robinson here, and I still would have been just perfectly happy. But getting Lamb is a real treat. I wasn't sure Clyde would still go before this pick. I was pretty confident Najee would still go like with one of these guys, and then it'd be 5, and then it'd be 5 receivers, and I was pretty safe. This guy's went double tight end. It's Pitts Hawkinson and 1 receiver. Guy goes Kyler without DeAndre. This is a really soft lobby. This is the actual 0 RB team. These other 0 RB teams kind of gave up on it. This guy's having a really good draft. I would not be surprised if he goes Russell Wilson right here, and he gets the full Seattle stack. I personally don't worry about like stacks like that until I'm thinking about quarterback, which I'm not at the moment. I'm thinking Tannehill down the line and some high upside guy. I'm really excited to see his Russell Wilson pick here because it makes a really good team. And he got the best of that second tier running backs, I think, by taking Darrell Henderson at not a huge reach. This guy is truly experienced. If he doesn't go Russell here, though, I'd be a little surprised. Beautiful team. Lamar? Why didn't this guy go Lamar? He has Mahomes already. Right. I won't take, even if I go Kelsey or Hill, I won't take Mahomes before the 4th. Dak goes right before the Amari guy. Okay, start looking at my pick. Debo just went. I was thinking Debo. I can go third running back here. I like Javonte Williams or Kareem Hunt. He goes Javonte, so I'm thinking Kareem Hunt. He's a really good third running back. And if we go Kareem Hunt, this can be a 4 RB build. We can do like a 2-4-10-2, hopefully. See how tight end goes. The tight end situation right now is a little wonky. Guys are going a lot earlier than normal. But so far, I like the team. I'm going to look to get a receiver on the turn here. I got like a couple of good options I really like that I have no problem drafting. The problem is the guy who picks before me like has to start going to receiver. There's no quarterbacks like coming up on ADP. There's no tight ends coming up on ADP. He's going receiver. See which one he takes. I got 2, I think, that I like. I got 1. Laviska's always one that I like. I definitely want to get a receiver here. He goes Brown. Darn, that's like kind of who I wanted. I'm not going Gallup because I didn't get Dak. I don't have a Charger connection. I don't have a Packer connection. Might just go Devonta here. Go for a high upside receiver. I'm gonna go Juju. I wouldn't mind a quarterback team of Tannehill, Roethlisberger, and Juju gives me that option. Jump back on board. Herbert goes to pick after me. To the not Keenan Allen, not Mike Williams owner. Ahead of ADP. This is a quarterback heavy draft, which I don't usually see in Underdog. It's usually a DraftKings thing. Speaking of, we're gonna do a DraftKings draft pretty soon here because it is incredibly soft over there, and you end up drafting differently because of it. So make sure to like subscribe here for that DraftKings draft. It is incredibly soft over there. Full PPR really changes things, but you go 2 extra rounds as well. So you get some really deep teams. The UI is not as nice. I'll say that right away. The UI is just not as nice. But you still get. It's good to play there just because of how soft it is. Like, why did this guy pick Tannehill? He has Mahomes already. I'm just full punting, like, quarterback at this point. That's ridiculous. That's an absurd pick. This guy's actually paying the rake because he has 2 receivers right now, and his second one's Chase Claypool. He only has 2 running backs. Imagine being 7 picks in, having 2 running backs and 2 receivers. The problem is he thinks he's drafting well too, but he just like did a huge reach on Tannehill for no reason, and he just went second tight end. A big reach on Jonnu. And this guy, I have no complaints with this draft so far. He can go for the reach on Logan Thomas here. Corey Davis moving up board so fast. I should have grabbed him at 76. I'm gonna look for Mooney. I'm gonna look for Mooney or Waddle in my pick. Did someone take Will Fuller already? Did someone take Fuller already? What did I miss here? He took Will Fuller at the turn. 2 running backs and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers. Will Fuller there's a little early. Get your guy though. If you believe in a guy, go get him. That's a general rule that I think usually works out for me. I'm looking to get like a quarterback stack going. It's just gonna be tough now. I should have gone Devonta. I should have gone Devonta Smith when I had the chance. Think about a Hurt Smith stack is like pretty interesting to me at the moment. Higbee's definitely in play here for me. I really want to do a two tight end team, but it'd be off brand for me to pass on Curtis Samuel right about now. It'd be too off brand for me to not take Curtis Samuel. I can't believe I got sniped on Tannehill. I can't believe that happened. We can still get like a backdoor Tua stack. We grabbed Waddle. We can go with Waddle. We can still go with Devontae Parker and Gesicki. And Tua's like been tanking. His draft, his ADP's been tanking. He's down to like a 143. He was going like 120s last weekend. And Tua could just like be a top 5 quarterback. All the reports I'm hearing is that he should never have played last year. The offense wasn't built for him. They were winning without him. He was still like not 100% from his hip. He could have been just fine. But pretty much the organization didn't want to win, so they made Tua go out there. Although Ryan Fitzpatrick was doing just fine. Probably would have led them to the playoffs. Feels bad for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hopefully Washington gives them a shot. Washington wants to win right now, so that's good for them. This guy just sniped Matthew Stafford. I've been waiting for this because I thought this guy would reach for Matthew Stafford after going Coop Woods at the 3-4 turn. He probably should have reached for Stafford with one of his last picks and not taken Will Fuller from me. He definitely had Matthew Stafford in his queue because he is looking now. This is the first time I've seen Sony Michel picked all draft season. Devontae Parker, he's gonna try to do the Tua backdoor stack. He's at 7 receivers already too. Man, that is annoying because I'm probably gonna have to take Tua here. Wait, did the quarterback just die? Is Aaron Rodgers still sitting there? At one point, do we just say, okay, unstack Aaron Rodgers, let's go? I can backdoor stack him, actually. Neither of these guys go Aaron Rodgers. I think I just grab him and back. This guy might. He has Adams. I think he's thinking about it. He just autoed it. Okay. Never mind. I am going to grab Higbee here. Higbee, I think, is in a good role with Stafford there. Like, he's much better throwing to tight ends than Jared Goff was. So. This guy legitimately autoed Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I said both these guys were sharp to begin with, too, and, like, I'm instantly regretting that. Trey Lance up to 91. I pretty much, my thoughts on Trey Lance are if he falls past pick 100, I pick him. If he's before pick 100, I don't even think about it. Did I like turn on the tight end faucet again? Did people forget tight end was a position you had to pick? There wasn't one from pick 90 to mine at 117, and then just it rattled them off. I didn't know that if I wanted Higbee, I'd have to take him though, because none of these guys had tight ends. He's so back-to-back tight end. I can go. Okay, Hurts goes. If I really want Tua, I have to do it now. I'm just not like super sold on it. I'm gonna go with the Henry Ruggs isn't washed strat, and that he has a sophomore breakout year. He's a great spike week receiver. We put a lot of draft capital into running back, so we're We're chilling, just picking receivers right now. Got a lot of good ones fall to me. I think what I'm gonna watch for is I'm gonna watch for this guy on the end to pick Tua. This guy has 2 wide receivers right now, and he goes for another running back. Okay. This guy's second receiver is Corey Davis. Which, like, how upsetting is this? That like that's actually a sharp pick to reach for Corey Davis, and he just completely built his lineup incorrectly. Okay, this guy is 0280. One of these is Tua, right? He's going Tua. He's got Will Fuller and Devontae Parker. He's been setting this up. This guy reminds me of like Galaxy Brighton Stack guy though. He's pushing his luck. Cause like he went Woods Cup, didn't grab Stafford in time. Like he played the ADP game and lost. Grabbed Parker because he had Fuller. Now he's playing the ADP game and it's gonna lose because I'm grabbing him at one of these 2 picks. I thought there was an outside chance Brian Under was going to make it back to me. Did not. There's so much quarterback value in this draft. Like, pretty soon I'm just picking Justin Fields. The problem with Justin Fields is like you need a third quarterback then because there's a chance he just never starts. Which is not something I like to do. I'm probably going Tua and Big Ben, and that's it for me. I can look at running back here too. I can look at tight end even. This is like one of my tight end ranges that I like, but there's 3 that I like right now. Don't really want to reach on a running back. I'm just going to grab Tua now. I know one of these picks I want Tua. My second quarterback here can be like anybody. I want to grab my 4th running back pretty soon because I don't want to pick 5. Oh, okay. But the running back value isn't there right now. Phil Lindsay's not bad. Isn't bad value. It is pretty ugly. It's pretty ugly. I'm going tight end because these tight ends aren't coming back to me. Higbee's on a bye week 11. Okay, don't forget about that. I kicked off a quarterback thing, and I love being at the front of kicking off streaks. It means I'm picking well. We can go look here. Baker went here, and then I just kicked off me, Burrow, Cousins. It's kind of Burrow, Cousins with Josh Allen on the team. God, these teams are awful. Fields already at the Fields and Hurts. Trevor Lawrence. I really kicked off a quarterback thing. Okay. Should have been a tight end thing for all those guys, really. I'll show you why. I'm going to take Gerald Everett right here. He's on like a 1-year prove it deal. This guy doesn't have a tight end. This guy has 2. He went back to back last round. This guy has 1. When this comes back here, look at the tight ends that are available. And all of them will be happier having a second tight end than one of these second quarterbacks. I can almost guarantee it. Just the way the roster construction is going to work out. We should see Everett. I took Everett. We should see Ingram go off the board. We should see Gronk go off the board. We should see Troutman go off the board. Probably Komet. And there should be such few running backs being picked right now that I think any of the running backs that were there that I was thinking about should still come back to me. The one thing about running back, I do need to look and see bye weeks. Yeah, so Derrick Henry and Kareem Hunt share a bye week. That's a little rough. I'm still pretty okay just going 4RB though. As long as I don't grab one that's on 13. He can be on 10 even, just not on 13. I think I want McKissick. If not McKissick, I think Gio. I want McKissick. I can get like a backdoor Washington stack here yet. I can grab Diami. I have Curtis Samuel. I can grab McKissick, who's a receiving back. It looks like McKissick's gonna be the third down back, which is I think it's really hurting Antonio Gibson. And it's surprising because Gibson's such a good receiving back. But they want him to be between the tackles. So go where coach tells you. Oh, I guess we gotta take Fitzpatrick at our next pick if we want him though. It's like Fitzpatrick McKissick for me next 2 picks. Pray. This guy has 0 quarterbacks. Fitzpatrick would not be making it back to me. 0-4-9. I'm gonna look at this guy's team, and I'm gonna think it looks great until I look at his quarterbacks and tight ends. Like he's probably done drafting running backs and receivers. Probably. Nice. So Ingram. This is what I'm talking about. I kicked off this Everett thing. Ingram, Troutman. Backdoor New Orleans stack? Oh, this is the guy who keeps getting sniped on his stacks. He's not being aggressive enough about him. Uzoma. Gronk and Komet are still available. Like they're definitely going in this range if they make it back. Komet. Yep, these guys really should have taken one of these tight ends here instead of going back up in third quarterbacks. Gronk. I've done enough of these. I know what happens. Everybody here needs a tight end yet. I kicked it off. Hooper. I'm just glad I don't have to worry about that. I need to see what's going on ahead of me. So they all have 2 or 3 quarterbacks. Oh. I was just thinking I'm gonna grab McKissick first because these guys all have a bunch of quarterbacks. I'm still like gonna grab a running back here, I guess. Still gonna grab Gio here. I might grab James White yet now too. Do we have any news on Mac Jones? It's kind of like one of the things I'm thinking about is like if Mac Jones is, there's like no shot Mac Jones becomes a starter this year, right? I thought Newton looked a lot better than Mac Jones in their game. I'm on the clock. I think I still go for the backdoor Washington stack. My plan? Dami Brown makes it back to me. This is going to be 2592 or 2410-2. At the moment, I'm kind of leaning towards 2592. I didn't get the fourth like stud running back, so Kareem Hunt and Gio are kind of spike week guys. Kareem Hunt not so much. Like he's gonna get his action every week. Gio's definitely a spike week guy. I would show this clip of Dami Brown, but I literally don't know if I can show clips of NFL stuff on a YouTube video. But the dude just looks good. He's out there with the first stringers. How did Trey Lance's box score end up? You know, I know he was looking good, but I want to see how his box score ended up, just to like prove box score chasers wrong. Eight for 1,402 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The interception was rough. He only ran the ball once too. They definitely weren't busting out like the RPO plays for Trey Lance though. They're just chilling. I'm really excited to draft Dami Brown right here. Hopefully. He's a guy I have not touched. Oh, this is weird. This guy did backdoor New Orleans stack, which I expected, but he took Taysom Hill. Does he go Jameis with one of the last 2 picks then? And he's just a 3 quarterback team now? These running back picks are, I'll say it, they're bad. They're actually just bad. They're too early. Watch him snipe me again. Alright, no pain this time. They're bad because James White's still available. James White's like having a receiver, so it's kind of like you have 4.5 running backs, 8.5 receivers, which is kind of a number I like. There's some white glow off of that my main monitor. Oh, James White went. Okay, that's fine with me. Look at running backs. I really don't have a problem taking a last round running back, but I'd like to get a guy that I guess I'm sure is going to play. If I am going 5th running back, so I'd probably go Tevin Coleman. Although Ramondre Stevenson has been looking fantastic. This guy is. I need to see like the breakdown. So this is 6 running backs. That's 6 running backs. That's like 3 or 4. 4. Christian Kirk goes. That really demotivates me from picking a receiver. I might go flyer Preston Williams with the last pick. I have no problem just taking a random player with your last pick that just fits your stacks. Ertz. Oh, I think I'm gonna take Tevin Coleman. Michael Carter's not ready to take over that role yet. That's the only 2 things I learned about Jets so far. Zach Wilson looks good. Tyler Kroft and Corey Davis look like his go-to targets, and Michael Carter's not starting. That's what I know of the Jets from preseason so far. Preston Williams or Albert Wilson? I have no news on. Wait, Albert Wilson's going to jail? No, that's the wrong article. Hold on. Albert Wilson just looking great in training camp is all I'm saying. Finn Fanatic. That's the kind of beat right now I want to see right now. For my last pick. Russell Williams came off the POP list 3 days ago. He's been activated to the roster. I would not expect Williams to play down this preseason, to be honest. I think the Dolphins will continue to work him in slowly. The Dolphins lost Allen Hurns to. Albert Wilson has been banged up over the week, and Will Fuller has been hardly done anything in all camp due to injury. I think we go Preston Williams. Or Albert Wilson with our last pick. Brandon Pringle's still sitting there, and so People Jones. Gosh darn it. There's been a severe lack of receivers taken in this entire draft that's leaving these guys available. These guys usually aren't available right now. I finished so many of my drafts off with these two guys though that like I don't want to do it again. But you're playing the ADP game and you're getting 20 picks. I'm committing to this. I can't. I'm taking Peoples Jones. It's just a better pick. Peoples Jones or Pringle there is good. Yep. There goes Pringle. Alright, 2 more picks, and we're gonna review some of these, and I think I'm gonna have some really harsh criticism. Farham with your last pick's good. I'll explain why it's bad for his team though. This guy started running back, so I assume that he's gonna go receiver here and be a 3-4-9-2 build. This last pick just bugged for everybody else too. Like never goes through. Okay. Is it? Okay. Let's review. We'll start with my team. There isn't a great way to look at these other than just look at the side. So, draft's over. Let me know what you think about my team. I'm gonna review it. Let me know where I'm going wrong with my review. Leave a comment below. It means a ton to me. Like, subscribe if you like the video, like the analysis. This is my favorite part here, looking back immediately and seeing what happened. 1 second. Looking back here and seeing what other people did, and if I like how their team ended up after seeing their strategy, is like my favorite part. So mine, I know my team, so I just start here. We end up 2-5-9-2, which is like one of my favorite roster constructions. Especially when you go 2 running back early, you just go jam receivers for a while. We got Lamb, Julio, DJ Moore, all at great ADPs. 3 players I really like. We got Kareem Hunt at a good pick. It was before a big tier gap in running backs to me, and we went 3 more receivers. All again players I like. As well as good ADP. The one mistake I think I made, I went Juju here. I should have gone Devonta. I went Juju for like a potential like stack situation, or I didn't think I was going to be able to get Hurts. I would have been happier if I would have gone Devonta and then just picked Hurts. I think. Right, because right here my plan was not to pick. I'm like kind of washy on the Philly offense in pieces of it. I either want to go all in or not at all. Whereas Juju can just be good. But this guy picked Ryan Tannehill way early. I was actually going to grab him with one of my next 2 picks. So we came back with Waddle. I didn't do my due diligence. I thought Fuller was still available. Usually Waddle goes before Fuller. He wasn't. And we still ended up grabbing Tua. You know, this guy was reaching for Miami players to set up that pick. Curtis Samuel way after ADP. Higbee after ADP. We started a tight end run. Just grabbed Ruggs here. Spike Week guy. Not a guy I've drafted much of, but Spike Week guy. He's definitely better than like Gage, Callaway, Terrace Marshall. Here's where we grab Tua. I'll talk about this guy's draft on the end, but he was just I'd mentioned it in the draft. He just wasn't chasing his quarterback plays enough. Everett, again, these guys should have been drafting tight ends. Mentioned in the draft, they should have drafted their backup tight ends here. They didn't, and they missed that entire group because of it. They just basically punted it after that. Geo, it's great. I want McKissick. I guess that happens. We still grab Fitzpatrick. Backdoor stack with Samuel, Fitzpatrick. Brown would have been nice to have McKissick in there too, but happens. Tevin Coleman. Last pick, Peoples-Jones. It's too late. There weren't enough receivers drafted in this draft. If Pringle and Jones weren't available, I was going for Albert Wilson, just getting a double stack. That could potentially work out with pretty much every single Dolphins receiver currently hurt. So that's my team. Let's look at the other ones. All right, the 1-1 has a huge projection. These projections mean nothing, but has a huge projection. That'll happen when you spend way too much draft capital on quarterbacks. He's got an unstacked Allen, an unstacked Brown, and unstacked Cousins, as far as I'm aware. Oh, he's got stacked Cousins. Yeah. He just didn't need to go 3 quarterbacks. Should have 9 receivers. CMC, Gaskin, Robinson, Johnson is enough, I think. I personally think that's enough. This could have been a 4 running back team. I don't mind Darrington Evans that late, though. We went Allen McLaurin on the turn. Came back with Thielen. Allen. The Allen pick is really bad, I think. It's unstacked. It's at ADP, not even a value. And then, yeah, then his fourth receiver could have been really good. Like, his fourth receiver could have been Deontay Johnson or DJ Moore, and that would just this team would have been really good without that. He didn't need Josh Allen, especially with what he did later in the draft. He went value picks. There was a ton of value receivers because there just weren't enough receivers drafted in this room. His tight ends are fine too. If we're only going two, I don't mind these two. I think if you go CMC, I think if you're the first pick, you're almost locked into a 4 running back build. Almost, unless you like literally wait till past pick 100, then you pick 5 random guys. Oh boy. 2-6-8-2. Hurts Fields. Quarterbacks started off really hot in this draft, and then they fell off hard with guys falling past their ADP. So, good job there. 6 running backs, and he spent 3 of his first 5 picks picking running backs. Looking at that right? Yeah, 3 of his first 5 picks were running backs, and he ended up with 6. I think that's a bit aggressive, and 2 of them are on week 7 actually. Oh, he handcuffed. Yeah, you can't. You can't do this in a best ball draft. You can't pick your handcuff. You're playing for upside. This is playing for floor. I don't mind James White though. Steven Williams shouldn't have been a pick on this guy. These two shouldn't have been picked. And this team would have been better to just pick 2 more receivers. Actually, I'm gonna tell you where I went wrong. But A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson looks good. Tyler Boyd, LaVisca. This is a good receiving core. You have a stack? Philly, Chicago? No stack. You waited too long, tight end. If these are your tight ends, you need 3 of them. You need 3 of this quality tight end. Hunter Henry and Donald Parham legitimately both might not see the field the first week. You're just taking the zeros. You might just be taking zeros of tight ends, even though you spent 2 picks on them. Henry's hurt and Parham is like okay. So the picks by themselves don't look bad. Just on this construction, there's too many running backs. If you invest 3 top 50 picks in running back, this is too many, and you can't pick your handcuff. Third pick, 3-5-7-3 ultimate safety. He got good value on the reach on Zach Wilson, which just didn't need to be a pick. You have Brady Lawrence at good value. You were good there. This should definitely be a 4 running back team. This probably should have been a don't pick Miles Sanders and be a 4 running back and be a yeah. Because you reached on Miles Sanders. And you started 4 running backs. If you start 4 running backs, you're having 4 running backs on your team. You did the smart thing next. You just picked a ton of receivers. But even if you do that, you're still ending up with not great receivers. Tampa Bay, Jacksonville Jets. Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, no Jets players. Yeah, he didn't grab the good parts of the stacks, which I did the same thing, so I can't complain too much. But didn't grab the good parts of these stacks. No Fant's good. Cook, Ertz, not bad. This is not a bad 3 tight end stack. Tambun, he drafted out of the 5 hole. Oh, 7 running backs. This guy went to 0 RB though. He started 0 RB. He reached on Herbert, which I'm still a little bit surprised, and then let Rodgers follow him, so that worked out well. But he had no business taking Herbert. He doesn't have a Charger pass catcher. I'm gonna show you what happened to this guy. Because he came in here with going 0 RB, which I love. And like it looks good. The first 4 picks are great for 0 RB. You could argue that Julio's better than T. Higgins here, but like, whatever. This is the problem. You went Jacobs, Javonte Williams. You went off of 0 RB pretty much. And he ends up with a team of 7 running backs. And none of them are good. Now you only have 7 receivers and none of them. So if like. Waller's good. Right? It was a good Waller pick. Like I was nervous because he picked Waller really early. So I'm like, usually that's a pretty sign of like a pretty sharp room. You probably saw Kittle go and he's like, I want my tight end. And he grabbed Waller. The reach on Herbert too shouldn't have happened. He should have been targeting Rodgers from the beginning. I don't know why Herbert's on this team. This team would look a lot better if one of these 2 picks was a receiver. I think this could be like Odell, Jamar Chase, Jerry Jeudy. He could have picked Jamar Chase here. Have Higgins, Jamar Chase. Pick Javonte still. Have this be another receiver or running back here, like Chase Edmonds, Trey Sermon, whatever. And then have just taken like Rodgers when he fell to him and Burrow. This team could be a lot better. I mean, hindsight's 2020, but I don't think that's unreasonable. Okay, 2-6-7-3. Trey Lance, Daniel Jones. Better hope Trey Lance starts. I would say he does, but 6 running backs, but he went pretty much 0 RB. So I don't mind having 6 running backs on this team because he has Hill. Oh, he's at the full San Francisco stack. Okay, like full San Francisco stack. And Kittle. Ooh. I want to say something bad. I usually don't mind like going full bet on a team. I don't like the full bet on San Francisco. Like at this point, you're hoping Trey Lance throws for what, 30, 40 touchdowns? He also runs like 5, 6 in, and Trey Sermon still gets 10 rushing touchdowns. Seems like a lot to ask for from the San Francisco team that just wants to run the ball and play defense. Thomas is your 4th receiver, probably can't do that. With these running backs, I don't think you can do that. Both Tampa Bay running backs, this is just a roster construction mistake. If San Francisco is the best offense in the league, this team will crush. If not, this team will not crush. Which I guess is like the goal in picking. If you believe San Francisco's like a top offense with Trey Lance, you do this. But probably not happening, would be my guess. 2-5-8-3. Okay. Kyler Darnold, I love that pairing. You get Kyler, who's like a stud quarterback, hopefully. You spend a big draft pick, and then you get a guy who's just going to play behind him. Darnold's just going to play every week. Zeke, Chubb, Edmonds, Singletary, Booker. I like it. Spent his first 2 picks on running backs, and then chill. You got Cooper, Godwin, Sutton, Moore. Something happened in the middle here that I didn't like. Zeke, Chubb, Cooper, Godwin. Oh, the Kyler pick. Right. It's unstacked Kyler, which is a little not as good. It's an unstacked Darnold as well. This could have been a 2 tight end team as well. You know Goddard and Cooper are going to keep playing. I don't mind Croft, though. High upside. 5 running backs. Yeah, if you're going 5 running backs, this is not. I don't think you need Booker. Just go another receiver. Courtland Sutton is 3rd receiver, then you drop down to Elijah Moore. Like, the way you have to think about this is there's still a flex. It means we look at like best case scenario first week, one of Elijah Moore or Chase Edmonds has to fill that flex. Damn, this guy was a mess. I did this already. I'm getting some that are just I know are just like awful. This guy, big Dak ahead of ADP, doesn't have a Cowboy receiver. Oh, he's Gallup. He grabbed Gallup late. Two tight ends. Yeah, he's the Kelsey pick. Kelsey and Gronk. This is good. That's good. I don't think he needs 3 quarterbacks on this team. You spent a draft pick on Dak, and you didn't even grab a. So now your bye week is still just Matt Ryan for Dak. He has Gage for Ryan, I guess. Does he have a link for? He doesn't have a Roethlisberger stack. Just don't pick Roethlisberger here. Pick another receiver. 6 running backs. No stud running backs, but even a lot of them. So that's right. High upside, potential upside. Darrell Williams looks like a better pick every time I see him. Evans, Beckham, the receivers are just rough. When Gallup's your 3rd and Gage is your 4th, it's looking rough. It's this. I know where this went wrong. So Dak didn't need to be picked because you're like not stacking them. Then you did stack him, and you grab Carter. So at this point, you have Gibson, Dobbins, Carter. I don't think you go Moss here. And you should just have another receiver on the team. So they're all main receiver. This could be Peoples Jones, Pringle, Brown, Perriman, anybody. Three, 6, 6, 3. This is awful. Morrow's good value. Stafford's fine. Stafford's actually not fine because I know he doesn't have any of the receivers. It's Deshaun. And then Cam Newton. Yeah, just don't pick Cam. Eckler, Carson, Mostert, Williams, Hines, Boston Scott. It's a big reach on Boston Scott. Considering I think Gainwell's the better Philly backup running back to pick. He reached on every single running back. Yes, go get your guy, but also read the room. Running backs were falling. These receivers are atrocious, though. Oh, you want Pitts Hawkinson. This is a bad team. Then like don't pick Cole Kmet on top of that. This is atrocious. This guy's paying the rake. Experience 2682. Yep, he did like a 0 RB thing. Yeah, he got the full Seattle stack with Diggs. Chase, Devonta Smith. I have no complaints here. 2 good bet ends. He reached for him a bit, but the room was fine to reach. This team's good. So they need one of these running backs to probably outperform or get their chance. I don't think Gordon holds his job all year. Connor at that draft pick was good though. It's a good team. That's a really good team. As we'll look at the receivers again, because this receiver setup is so good. Diggs, Metcalf, Lockett, Chase, Smith. Yeah, this is so good. He took Mahomes at ADP and then reached on Tannehill with no time to see receivers. It's still triggering me a little bit. Big reach on Mark Andrews. The rarest I've ever seen Mark Andrews go, and then a giant reach on Jonnu Smith. And then still pick a 3rd tight end. And it shows because his receiving pool looks awful. And his running backs look pretty awful. I think what was funny is he just did one of everything to start off. Running back, receiver, quarterback tight end. He's like, I'm done. I got them all. And that's just not how this works. Too big of reaches on both the tight ends to be a good team. Okay, this guy is gonna have to hope for some magic for this team to even be like viable. Carson Wentz may not start. Taysom Hill, I'm pretty sure. James Winston's starting. Unless something's came out. It could be quarterback committee. I don't think there's a world where Taysom Hill's the solo starter. This is a good 4 running back team, though. Saquon Taylor, first 2 picks, and 2 guys. Well, Tony Pollard will see playing time, but super high upside. Latavius Murray will see playing time, super high upside, too. He had to reach for Stafford. He just didn't. I pointed this out like a bunch of times. When you do this, when you make this bet where you're kind of reaching on, it's not a full reach on these guys, but you're pretty committed. Like, it's a 5-pick reach on Woods. You're kind of committed on that. He ends up not. Where does Stafford end up going? Stafford ends up going 105. He had to kind of take him at this 85 pick. I wouldn't have expected this guy to take Stafford either, but he kind of got to do it. But he ended up doing the same thing, going with Fuller, Parker, and then not taking Tua. Right? He goes Fuller, grabs Parker 108. Rondell Moore, it's fine. My plan was to take Tua after I took Waddle. I like Tua. I actually let it go here. I didn't want to reach for him. I'm like, okay, he's going to take him. I'll move on. Didn't take him yet. Dude just kept waiting. And ended up with like just not taking a quarterback. There's a very real possibility week 1 he gets 0 points from his quarterbacks. That's kind of absurd. This would be a 3-quarterback team. And it's a 3 tight end team too, because it also has to be. These are not great. He ended up going for like a backdoor, tried to do like a backdoor New Orleans thing with Troutman, Traquan Smith, and Murray. At that point, just like you just got to reach for your stacks a little bit earlier. Projection's really low because the team's not very good. Okay, pull my team back up. Once more quick over. I like how it turned out. I don't know if the league winner, but it's definitely good. The receiver situation is really good, considering we started 2 running backs. I usually don't get this good receivers when you start 2 running backs. So I got 2 good tight ends at ADPs I didn't have to overpay for. Very happy. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Let me know think about the team. Let me think about the draft. We're gonna do DraftKings next time, I think, and show you just kind of like how soft that site is and what to do differently there. I think there's a huge edge to be had there if you draft correctly and draft differently than you do on Underdog. So that being said, leave a like, subscribe. There'll be more of these, and leave a comment on my team. I appreciate all feedback on the team and the video. So thanks for watching. Bye.